Hey guys, Xbox here, and check it out. I got a few updates, or a few hop-ups, or whatever you want to call them, for my Kyosho VE here. So one of the things that you guys remember I said is, you don't get a lot of airflow, especially with the guard on here, to your motor. So I was looking to get a a heat sink, but this thing, you can see it's the wrong way. I put it on. Well, I'll show you guys. So let me turn this thing around here. So I took this, sort of floppy here. So if I put it on the way this thing goes, I didn't really want to, but this was all that the hobby shop had, was sort of this double one here, and I don't want it to go that way. So I think I'm gonna put it on and then just reverse the actual fans here, so they're flip-flop, so it goes around back. I didn't really care for the second one, but it's all they had. They actually just sold the other one. I did have another a single fan and a heatsink here, but I don't have any screws or anything to go in there. And I was gonna try it, but I'll just leave that off. So that's one thing that I got, is this. I'm gonna throw that on there and see if it helps cool down the motor a little bit. The motor did not run hot. It was just I figured giving it a little bit of extra cooling won't hurt, since it didn't get a lot of airflow because that big thing was there. The second thing that I got were these little straps, and these things were like, they're only like $2 or $3 at my hobby store. And the thing is when you fit a 2-cell in here, see, it's pretty snug, right? And if you want to fit a larger 3-cell, you got to take these clips out, put them. There's little holes right at the top. But then you see down here, this is like, you got to like loosen these up, and it's just not a good way. So what I'm going to do is, on the side here, I'm just going to put a just Dremel a hole here, and do it on the other side, so that I can just put these straps in there, and you can strap in whatever battery that you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Next thing you'll see is them installed. Alright, so there you have it. Check it out. I put these straps in for the battery, so you don't have to use that big bar thing anymore, and regardless of your battery type, you can just simply, unstrap, and put it in your new one. One of the things I noticed on this, though, is you can see what I did is I just basically just Dremeled a hole on each of these sides right here. I took this whole thing out, Dremeled a hole, and basically just ran the Velcro strap right through. One of the things I noticed is you can actually just Dremel this one side, and if you Dremel it all the way down, you can actually get this thing to go underneath the whole thing, which I didn't notice from before. So you can see, I know that one's a pretty bad one anyway. But this is going to make it a lot easier to change batteries and really strap in a battery, regardless if it's a 2-cell or 3-cell in there, and do it rather quickly instead of having to unscrew and screw stuff in there. So you can see that pretty cool there. Let's take a look at the motor fan here. So you can see basically I had to flip these around, or I flipped that motor mount around so it points towards the back again. I didn't want the 2, but I'll go with the 2. I'll take it. And you can see what I did is this was twisty tied to the motor, so I just went ahead and twisty tied it here so the actual cables here wouldn't go into the spur, or into the pinion here. And I just twisty tied it again there. You guys can take a look at that ESC. It really looks like a Hobby King's 60 amp ESC. It looks almost identical to it. But yeah, so you can see how I mounted that there. I had to go ahead and Dremel a little hole on this backside because this red wire unfortunately wouldn't go all the way around to the front. But you can see it's still super tight. Just Dremel a little small hole in the back. Good to go. And that's how it looks. I'm going to go ahead and put this plastic cover on and show you guys how it looks with the actual plastic cover turned back on. Alright, there we go. Put the plastic cover back on. You can see if you can look at that, the motor fins right there work great. Not really in the way of anything. The wires are all sitting fine. The whole plastic cover went on perfectly fine. Flip it around. Yep, the battery tray gonna have absolutely no problem. Gonna be super easy for me to put in a 3-cell in this thing. It was very difficult, I'm telling you guys, but I was like switching from a 3-cell to a 2-cell. You had to take these out. You had to unscrew these a little bit, re-put in the 3-cell, make sure the screws were tight, go back, and then when you get back to a 2-cell, you had to crank it back down. This is gonna make it super easy for me to swap out. I think my next thing I'm gonna do is try and find something to cover this over here. Maybe someone was telling me to put some pantyhose in here. Maybe drill some holes in here and put some pantyhose or something and attach it to like 2 things in the back here. I don't know. I'm going to take a look online and see if anybody suggests anything. But yeah, you can see the stuff installed nicely. Hopefully that, again, will help me cool down my motor a little bit. Not that it was having a problem, but it's just something I wanted to put on there, especially since there was not a lot of airflow to the motor because of this big fan thing here. So you guys can see that. Check it out again. Pretty easy to install. You guys can see my battery mod here. Again, if it was just me on this, I would actually put these straps underneath. I would go here and like Dremel this all the way so this piece can go all the way around the bottom and underneath it. So there you go, guys. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely check out all my giveaways. I'm always doing a giveaway on my channel. Thanks again.